Well, it's December 4th, Thursday, 2008. Still talking about the car bailout and the Wall Street bailout. And nobody's bailing me out. I have today off because I have no work for today. So I get up in the morning and watch about 5 different news shows, and MSNBC and CNBC, and the 2 CNN channels and Fox News. All the bobbleheads just talking around the real issues. And I don't know about you, but I'm getting pissed off, really pissed off. Nobody is nailing the car industry to the wall. Nobody is telling the truth. And once again, General Motors already built an electric car. So I hope I said that clear enough for you. It's called the EV1 or the Impact. Watch the movie Who Killed the Electric Car. You know, back in the war, World War I, World War II, the government of the time asked the auto industry to slow down on building cars and start building Jeeps and tanks and amphibious machines and, you know, stuff for the war. And it took them about 3 months to retool and start building things for the military. So for GM, Ford, Chrysler, and the rest of them to say, "Oh my God, we can't go through all that. It'll destroy our industry." Bull. General Motors just said they're going to scrap the Saturn. Well, you know, now that they've scrapped the Saturn, how about digging through your files and pulling out your file on the EV1 and going and picking out the molds and dies for building that car, and start tomorrow making the Impact again, because you already built 1,000 of these things, and you didn't build 1,000 cars by hand. You built them with tools and molds. So stop with all the crap about retooling. And you know what? I'm tired of Joe Scarborough and Willie Geist and Barnacle and all the testosterone-driven news anchors. Mika Brzezinski is the only saving thing on that show on MSNBC in the morning. You know, she refuses to talk about Paris Hilton and Britney Spears, and she tries really hard to get her points across with all these guys always trying to yammer on and shut her down. And, you know, message to Kieran Chetry and Robin Meade: stop being fluffheads and start talking about the real issues. Start telling the truth. You know, people watch you every single day, and you lie all day, every day. It's maddening. You live in a real world. I live in the same world. If I have this information, you've got it too. Tell your editors, if they don't start giving you copy to read, you know, because I'm sure you don't make up anything on your own. If they don't start giving you copy to read that's the truth, quit your jobs. You know, don't be afraid. You know, you'll show the world that you have integrity. And some show will give you a job based on that, not based on your looks. You know, stop being pretty and start being pretty truthful. I just got a thing in the mail this morning. Damn, I'm a finalist. I can go down to local Dodge dealer and get me a car. Well, you know what? I don't want your car, because it's just another internal combustion engine. And why would I want one of those filthy things? Why would I want to keep driving around a new car that's killing my neighbor's kids? You know? And all you parents out there, you keep going out and buying these cars, and every time there's some little thing that affects your kids, you freak out. But you'll start that engine up and drive your kids to school, polluting them all the way. People, stop it. Really, stop it. Stop the lies. Stop avoiding. Stop being apathetic. Stop being lethargic. Get up off your asses, write your Congress people, and demand that we start building electric cars. You know, again, they retooled for the war. Well, we are in a war to save our planet, to save our future generations. We're at a war with OPEC. So wake up and start building electric cars. I'm going to keep making these videos until you get it. And people say to me, well, you don't own an electric car. You know, Chevy's coming out with a Volt. You know what they're going to charge for these things? $40,000. That's more than I make in a year. I can't afford a car like that. Can you afford a car like that? You know, if you can afford a car that costs $40,000, well, why don't you go $45,000 and buy an electric car, all electric? And they keep talking about the auto industry going out of business. The auto industry isn't going out of business. We have Tesla Motors, electric cars. We have Zap Motors, electric cars. We have Myers Motors, electric cars. These are 3 companies right here in America. So let's give Tesla the GM factory, let's give Zap Motors the Ford factory, and let's give Myers Motors the Chrysler factory. And get these chumps out who don't want to do good things for America, who don't want to make America free. Get them out of there, and let's put these companies in that want to make Americans free and want to make Americans healthy. You know? Oh yeah, and there's Zen Motors in Canada. Do you know that there's an electric car company in Canada? They can't even sell their car in Canada because of regulations. Let's open up the regulations. Let's get people buying and selling electric cars, you know? And this isn't going to happen overnight. You know, everybody's talking about, well, the aftermarket salespeople, you know, people make the spark plugs, the fan belts, the radiator hoses, the exhaust systems. For the next 10 to 20 years, we are still going to have internal combustion engines driving around on the streets because people can't, quite frankly, afford to buy a new car. Some can. I can't. And everybody talks about how great Ford trucks are. I own a Ford F-150. Since I've owned that truck, I've had to put a new motor in it, and not because I drive it to death. I had 62,000 miles on the original motor, and it kept leaking oil. And I kept going to my dealer, and I kept saying, check it out, I'm losing oil. I'm putting a case of oil in this thing every couple months. And I get the truck back, they charge me a couple $100, and they'd say, oh, it's within factory specifications. It's within factory specifications to dump a case of oil in there every couple months? You got to be kidding me. I will never buy another car until it's electric. We drive around a little Nissan, my wife's car, a little Nissan Sentra. She bought it in 1991. And other than getting a tune-up and an inspection once a year, throwing gas and oil in it once in a while, the car runs like a top. So everybody's saying, oh, you can buy a comparable American car to a foreign car. That's bull. You know, foreign car industry are building better cars because they want to sell their cars in America. And Americans don't really give a crap because they assume that because you're an American, you're going to buy an American car, you know? And the auto union has just become so inflated. The average car worker makes $29, $30 an hour. How many people out there make $29, $30 an hour? That goes on the top of the cost of your car. And these CEOs getting multi-million-dollar severance packages for doing nothing, for killing us. You know, American car companies are anti-American, because they are killing us. You know, forget what Osama bin Laden is doing and Al Qaeda and all these terrorist groups. We've got 3 of the biggest terrorist groups in our country building products that you and I are buying because we have no other choice. So let's hold on to our old internal combustion engines. Just hang on to them. It's just a piece of crap piece of transportation anyway. You know? Drive it around until you see an electric car dealership open up in your neighborhood. Then go buy an electric car.